Welcome back to eCBSE online classes. Today I am starting the module Arithmetic Progressions for class 10th. Especially in this video, let us talk about the theoretical aspects of arithmetic progressions. This is part A of the video series. Before we go into the theory, let us look at some practical examples. Let's say you have some initial savings and kept on adding to it every month. So your savings will keep on growing. There is a pattern here. Similarly, when you notice growth of a plant in your backyard, again there will be a pattern. And another common example, a ladder like this, which is wider at the bottom and thinner at the top. If you notice the length of each step as you go from bottom to top, there is a pattern in their lengths. Another common example is a wall clock. It starts from 1 and it goes up to 12. Again, it repeats. So all these patterns can be called as progressions. So let us look at some of those and get to some specifics. So let's look at some examples of the series, say 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 100, 120, 140, 160, etc. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and so on. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, etc. 2, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 power 4, etc. 1000, 1100, 1210, 1331, etc. So what is common in all of these things? So if you look at the first three series, there is a common difference, right? Each number is obtained by adding a finite value to the previous number. The fourth series is nothing but squares of consecutive numbers. The fifth one and sixth one, again, each new term is obtained by multiplying its corresponding previous term by a certain value, which is called common ratio. So as we have observed, all of these series have certain pattern in common. So we can call all of these series as progressions. So let us specifically take the first type of series here, which is the first three series. So looking at these, can you come up with what will be the next numbers in each of these? In the first one, you can obviously say that, okay, next numbers will be 5, 6, 7, 8. And the second series, it will be 180, 200, 220, etc. And the third series, after 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the obvious numbers will be 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on. So how did we come across these next numbers? We call that as common difference, right? In the first series, the common difference is 1. So each consecutive number is formed by adding 1 to the previous number. Similarly, second series, the common difference is 20. In the third series, common difference is minus 1, as in you started subtracting 1 from each previous number. So let's come to the definition of it. An arithmetic progression is a list of numbers in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term. Pay attention to all the highlighted words here. We are talking about arithmetic progression here, and we are talking about fixed number, which is used to add to the previous number to obtain a next number. So it is also called as common difference here. And the first term cannot be obtained by adding any number to its previous number because there is no previous number to the first term. So this is unique. So keep a note of all of these points. And again, also note that this fixed number or common difference can be positive, 0 or negative. Now let's look at a generic expression or generic form. So let's say A1, A2, A3 and so on, AN and so on are the terms in an arithmetic progression. So we know that the difference between any two consecutive numbers will be equal to the finite difference, correct, or common difference. So here A2 minus A1 will be exactly equal to A3 minus A2, and that will be equal to A4 minus A3 and so on until AN minus AN minus 1 will be equal to D. Now let's try to come up with a generic form. Let us call the first term A1 as A, and we know that A2 minus A1 is D, so A2 will be equal to A1 plus D. So A2 is nothing but A plus D. Now let's start with A2 equal to A plus D. We know that A3 minus A2 is also D, so A3 is nothing but A2 plus D. So if you substitute A2 as A plus D, it becomes A3 equal to A plus D plus D. That is A3 equal to A plus 2D. So let's continue doing the same. A3 equal to A plus 2D. We know that A4 minus A3 is equal to D. A4 is A3 plus D. So we substitute A3 as A plus 2D. So A4 becomes A plus 2D plus D. That is A4 equal to A plus 3D. So let's come to a generic pattern here. So A1 can be written as A plus 1 minus 1 into D. A2 can be written as A plus 2 minus 1 into D. A3 can be written as A plus 3 minus 1 into D, and so on. So generic form will be An will be equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So this is called generic form of the nth term. So then if we substitute this, A1 becomes A, A2 becomes A plus D, A3 becomes A plus 2D. So the series A comma A plus D comma A plus 2D comma and so on, and A plus n minus 1 into D is called the generic form of the arithmetic progression. So what we need to understand here is, if you know the first term A and the common difference D, we can practically define the entire arithmetic progression. So what we are saying is, first term A and the common difference D can define an arithmetic progression. Now let us quickly recap all the key points that we have learned about arithmetic progressions. 1. The definition. An arithmetic progression is a list of numbers in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term. Common difference D can be positive, 0 or negative. A plus D, A plus 2D and so on, A plus n minus 1 into D is called the generic term or generic form of the arithmetic progression. An equal to A plus n minus 1 into D is called the nth term or generic term of the arithmetic progression. If an arithmetic progression has m terms, the last term is denoted by am or L. And finally, we know that the first term A and the common difference D can define an entire arithmetic progression. Now let us try to find a formula for sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic series. So the first n terms are A plus D, A plus 2D and so on, A plus n minus 1 into D, right? So the sum will be S equal to A plus D plus A plus 2D plus A plus 3D and so on, plus A plus n minus 1 into D. Let us try to find a formula for this. So let us write each of these terms one below the other. A plus D, A plus 2D and so on until we write A plus n minus 1 into D. What we do next is, we try to write the sequence in reverse order but parallel to each of these terms. So the first we write the last term A plus n minus 1 into D. Second we write the last but one term A plus n minus 2 into D. The next one will be A plus n minus 3 into D and so on until we reach A plus D and A. Now what we should do is add these two terms on each row. So on the first row we have A and A plus n minus 1 into D. Sum of these two will be 2A plus n minus 1 into D. Similarly on the second row we have A plus D and A plus n minus 2 into D. The sum of that will be 2A plus n minus 1 into D. The same thing gets repeated for all the rows, and without any exception all the rows are summing to 2A plus n minus 1 into D. So effectively we have n terms each equal to 2A plus n minus 1 into D. But here what did we do? We counted the total two times. So this is first and this is second. So when we have the n terms each with 2A plus n minus 1 into D, sum of these will be basically 2 times of S. So 2S is equal to n times 2A plus n minus 1 into D. So S will be half of that. So that is n by 2 into 2A plus n minus 1 into D. So we got the formula for sum of the first n terms here. Let us say the arithmetic progression has only n terms. So then the nth term is the last term, correct? So the last term can be denoted as L equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So we already got the formula for S, that is sum of first n numbers here. equal to n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 into d. If we rewrite the term in the bracket, it becomes n by 2 times a plus n minus 1 into d. So a plus n minus 1 into d, we know that is L. So the sum of all terms of a arithmetic progression with n terms will become s equal to n by 2 times a plus L, because we are substituting a plus n minus 1 into d simply by L. So n by 2 times first term plus last term will be equal to the sum of all the terms in the arithmetic series that has only n terms there. Okay, please remember all these formulae, and we'll be working some exercise problems in the coming videos. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel eCBSE Online Classes, and follow us on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining.